Back in December 2024, I moved into a new storage unit, moving a load of personal possessions, my freelance stuff, and also all of my Scalextric and Slot Car collection I've been collecting since I was about 4 or 5 years old, so over 30 years. Unfortunately, 48 hours after I moved in, the building caught fire and it was pretty catastrophic. I went in there yesterday and this is all that's left. Genuinely, just the frames from the racking that I installed just 2 days before. So I've lost everything, over 30 years worth of collecting Scalextrics, along with all my freelance stuff and everything else. It's all gone. Now it's going to take me a long time to rebuild everything, but I've decided that I am going to start to rebuild the slot car collection, and I'm starting that journey today. It's January 2025. It's absolutely freezing, but we're headed down to Swindon for the first swap meet of 2025. In this bag is a list. This is all of the cars that I can remember losing or remember putting in there, and I'm going to see how many I can find. I've decided I'm not going to replace all of them. I'm going to replace the ones that mean most to me. I'm going to see how many I can find down there, and I've also put a couple of new ones on there that, rather than replacing old and ones that I weren't that fussed about, I'm going to replace it with some new cars that I really like the look of and basically start afresh. So, January 2025, this is the first part in, I don't know how many parts are going to be in this series, but if you like the idea of following me on my journey of rebuilding my slot car collection, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. But for now, let's head on the road. Let's get down to Swindon with the bag and a credit card. Here we go then. Going in.
Hello.
Thank you. First off, let's have a good look around, see what we can find. Never buy on your first pass round, you never know what's cheaper. There's the list, first spot. Really like that Zaxby Capri, but it just wasn't quite right. But here was my first spot. It is one of these Porsches. Now, someone's already given me a yellow one of these. I'm trying to find a red one. These were pretty much my first Scalextric cars. My brother-in-law gave me those. This one weirded me out, 280 quid for a matte black Sierra Cosworth. Not sure about that. Now, I did have one of those in the original collection, but this one, I don't know, it just looked a little bit different to my previous one. I think my old one was a club car, whereas that I don't think was, so I didn't get that. However, that I really like the look of. I was looking for a Michelin version, Ken Block version there. Aha, I did have one of these, a Cepsa Escort Cosworth. I wasn't too worried about replacing this, and that one wasn't that nice a condition, so I passed on that one. I also had one of these, lovely Subaru Impreza. That's brought back the memories. RS200. Didn't have one of these, do want one though. This one was about 30 quid without a box. Wasn't quite right, just slightly too expensive for me. Now what do we have here? GT40. Now I did have a GT40 out of the Goodwood set, so I'm looking for that, but I think that's going to be quite hard to find. This was beautiful, that gold chrome. I didn't buy this, but I think I'm going to have to add one of those to the collection as time comes by. This, pretty much my first Scalextric set, was Team Calibra. They are awful on the track, they slip all over the place, but do really like them. Now this one, didn't have in the original collection, but have been wanting one for a while. They change hands for about 50 quid, so yep, out comes the cash. First purchase. I also had one of these. I was looking for one of these and I was so pleased to see one, and then the guy said there's a brand new one next to it, so yep, thank you. That's another tick off the list. Into room number 2, where they've got this huge slot car track set up. I really wanted to go, but I was also mindful of time and getting back. Club car from 2010, the SLR, was looking for one of those. I also found something else to go with it, and a couple of pieces of track too. So then, final scoot round, see if there's anything else that takes my fancy. Loved the look of that, but 60 quid was just a bit too steep for me. But I do want to get a Calibra in the slot car collection. Could well be one of those, a Cliff, rather than one of the others. So quick last check of the list of the prices, final scoot round, and I'm done. So I'm back. Now, Spoiler alert, I didn't pick up all of the cars. I did pick up a couple of pieces of track, but I didn't think you'd be that interested in the track. You're mainly going to be interested in the cars. As you can see, there are ticks on my list. I'll be honest, I can't really remember all that I have bought. I can't remember everything that I've seen, but here are the cars that I have bought. Let's have a look, shall we? First one that I bought, it's this one. So I did have a, I think it was Cepsa Escort Cosworth that I really, really liked. And I did see one down there, but it wasn't quite as nice as the one that I had. But instead, I found this one, which is a, if I show you that. So this is a classic red Escort Cosworth, which I really like because it's got the old style Scalextric branding on there. There was just something about this that I really quite liked. And also it's in my favourite colour, and it's also my favourite car, an Escort Cosworth. So for a tenner, I thought this one is going to come home with me. So that was number one. Number two, we kept with the Escort Cosworth theme. Now, I was looking for a Michelin, one of these. I had a Michelin SSX car previously, and I have been watching a few on eBay, and they are going for ridiculous sums of money. But I also came across this, and these are going for, I think on eBay, around the £100 mark, somewhere like that. So this I saw down there. There was no price on it. £50 is what I paid for it in the end, and I am quite pleased with it. Now, I'll be brutally honest, I am not the biggest fan of Mr. Block. Rest in peace, sir. I think he is a fantastic entertainer. I think the colour schemes that he comes up with and his whole brand and so forth is amazing. However, when I've seen him racing in the WRC, of which I'm a huge fan, he never really quite lived up to the same level as some of the competitors out there who weren't as celebrated as him. And for me, that was a bit of a shame. It's almost like there was more of a celebration of fame around Ken Block. All credit to him. Massive respect to the guy, but I'm not his biggest fan. However, I do really quite like the detail on that model, so that has also joined the new collection. This one I'm very, very pleased. Now, before I went down there, I did spend quite a bit of time on eBay trying to find all my old cars to get an idea of sort of the price point, so that I've got an idea if something was good value or not. I've been looking for one of these. This is the club car from 2010, and it is the 722 SLR, which I'm very, very pleased to see is back in the collection. However, I've just noticed that front wheel is awfully wobbly. We'll be having a look at that closer later on. Next was a new addition. There's a bit of a theme here. You'll probably be able to tell what kind of cars I really like. It is the Texaco Sierra Cosworth. Now, I didn't have one of these. I didn't even have like the old 80s version of it. But when it came out a couple of years ago, I did really like it, and it was on my list to get. These are usually changing hands at the moment for around the £50 mark. This one was down there for 40, so I snapped that one up. So I'm very pleased to have that as a new part of the collection. And my final purchase down there, I only bought 5 cars, but I am so chuffed to have this. I had one of the, I can't even remember where I picked this up, but it was a Mazda 787B. Now, I'm so chuffed with this car. This was one of the prides of my previous collection because the chassis on this was all sort of almost like a frame rather than a flat plate, and it had got steering at the front. This is even better than my old one because it's in the original box. In fact, it's brand spanking new. Can you see that? So this is new, never been out. I am so pleased with it. I found one of these on eBay, used, and it was in the region of about £100. This, 25. I'm so pleased with that. So that is another one that will finally make its way out of the box and onto the track. So there we are. That's my haul, if you like. I hate using that term, haul, but there we are. That's my haul from the Swindon Swap Meet 2025. I think that is a really great start to the collection. Now, I've also been following and buying quite a few cars on eBay over the Christmas period. So my next video is going to be when all of those turn up, and I'll finally sort of bring everything together and say whereabouts in the collection is what's come back, you know, how much of it have I recovered versus how much is still out there and what I'm still looking for. And then hopefully I'll be down at a few more swap meets throughout the year. And if you do see me down there, please do come and say hello. One of the things that shocked me more than anything down at the swap meet today was a number of people who spoke to me and recognised me from the posts that I put on some of the forums and were offering their support and almost their condolences for what I'd lost in the fire. And it's worth saying that it is only possessions, and a lot of people will say, well, they're just toy cars, why are you so bothered about that? They had a lot of meaning to me. I've been collecting them since I was a little kid, since I was about 4 or 5 years old. So I was very sad to have lost all of those. Thankfully, that, like you said, they are just possessions, so they can be replaced. People can't. And on that note, I'm dedicating this video to one of my dear friends, Tank Nut Dave, who very sadly and very unexpectedly passed away a couple of days ago. He was only in his 40s, but I had an immense amount of respect for Dave. To this day, I have not met anybody who knows more about tanks than he did, and he embraced his passion unapologetically. And I think we should all do that. We should all do things that make us happy, and this here makes me very, very happy. So do what makes you happy, because you only get one life, you only get one go round on this merry-go-round, and you need to make the most of it, because you genuinely don't know how long that merry-go-round goes on for. So Dave, thank you very much for all your service and for inspiring me, and thank you to you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and underneath you'll find that subscribe button. If you hit that, you'll get more updates from me on rebuilding this collection of Scalextrics and slot cars, and also be able to see when show season kicks off, which I think is starting in April or May this year. So if you like your cars, your trucks, your tanks or your bikes, make sure you subscribe, because there's loads of great content coming this year. All I have to say is thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you again soon.